Hello and welcome to my industry-linked project portfolio. This video will cover all of my work outcomes and discuss my success with regards to intentions and outcomes. As previously mentioned in Task 1 for this unit, I aim to expand my knowledge within the script editing and script supervising role while also learning some new skills within the set dressing and set design department. I applied for the script roles as this is where I can see myself spending most of my career in the future. By increasing my knowledge, I am able to give myself a better start once I finish university. I applied for the other minor roles in order to give myself a base knowledge which will develop me into a more rounded filmmaker. In the beginning of the process, I researched my chosen roles and also faced my first decision as 2 additional productions asked me to work on their project as script supervisor. I decided to accept the positions as it would allow for me to gain more experience and meet a wider variety of contacts. While researching in my spare time, my university conducted a masterclass lecture from a script supervisor called Kelly Craig. The guidance I received from Kelly's masterclass pushed me to experiment with new working techniques within the role of script supervisor. Using different methods to record information that I had learned from Kelly, I gained more knowledge about the role and improved my confidence. Kelly also taught me a new sustainable practice that I could incorporate into my workflow. Kelly suggested to start using my laptop instead of paper when operating within the role as it reduces waste and benefits the environment. To give myself that industry standard experience, I decided for the house project I would adopt these methods. Another example of sustainability that the crew and I incorporated into our work practices was to borrow and purchase second-hand props in an effort to reduce the amount of materials needed for the sets. By using second-hand props, we reduced the amount of raw materials used to create objects such as desks and bed frames. As script supervisor, I made sure scripts were completely covered by using lines along the side of the script. I would then note each take and write what shot number was the best above the lines. This would make the editor's job a lot easier as they wouldn't have to sit through all the bad takes. I would then record all the day's shooting information so that each production I worked with could go back and refer to what scenes still needed to be shot. Within my role as script editor, I would press the writers to try and develop their own ideas. Both productions I worked on went through 6 or 7 drafts. In order to stay on top of the work schedule, I decided to write a script editor's journal, which proved very useful. In order for me to learn from this experience, I found it important to acquire peer feedback to see how well I undertook my role. I asked the director of Life After, Sergio Jean, to write his thoughts on me. Please pause the video here if you would like to read the feedback. Looking back on the project, there are various examples of problem solving that occurred. One example was instead of wasting time redecorating the door, we decided to remove it for some of the films, which saved time. Another example of problem solving occurred when we couldn't light a scene from a central lampshade. Because I was construction manager on this unit, I made a wooden beam across the top of the set so the light could be hung from it. This can be seen in full effect in Life After. There isn't much I would do differently if I were to repeat this term, as I believe that I have learnt a lot from my mistakes from Task 3. The only thing I would change is how I would communicate to other departments when on set, as I found that some props were being moved without my knowledge, which would affect continuity. This concludes my Task 4 industry-linked project. Thank you for listening.